Right now, I want to talk about building a manufactured home, some things that you should know, and answer some common questions. My name is Drew Smith. I'm a licensed loan officer. So building a manufactured home isn't really that hard. There's just some steps that you need to follow. So first, I always recommend getting pre-approved. Technically, you don't have to get pre-approved first, but you'll ultimately need to get approved before you build the home. So why don't you start there? I like to start there because that's going to let you know what the max amount you would qualify for is in terms of your loan amount, right? So it sucks to go out shopping first. You fall in love with your dream home. This is the place I want. This is exactly what I'm looking for, only to find out that you don't qualify for that. So you want to get pre-approved first to know where, what range and price you should be looking at. Then the next thing that you would do, or I would do, is just go online and look for a manufactured home builder. So they're all over the country, they're everywhere. So you start with your city, your county, your area that you want to build in, and look for manufactured home builder, and then put in the city or area. One that I've worked with that's huge is Clayton Homes. Now there's others out there. I'm not saying that you should only go to Clayton Homes. There's tons of them out there, but that's just kind of the most popular one that I've done business with is Clayton Homes, and they're all over the country. So first, find that manufactured home builder, and then reach out to them and get in touch with a sales representative and start asking some questions, learning about their process and what they require. So with our new builds, this is a new build is what it's really defined as, right? You're building a new home. It's a manufactured home, yes, but it's a new build. There's typically more overlays and requirements for it. So especially when we're looking at VA loans, there's no minimum credit score requirement. Debt to income ratio, we can go really high on a VA loans, but not with new construction. So there's going to be more overlays with it. So there's going to be a minimum credit score requirement. There's going to be debt to income ratio limits that are lower than your traditional existing home purchases, right? So they're trying to lower their risk on it and raise the requirements on it, especially on the new construction. So you want to look at that stuff too, and that's another good reason why you should get pre-approved first is because you don't want those things to come up later after you've fallen in love with the home. So then you want to reach out to them, right? You're talking to your sales agent. You want to just ask them some questions and figure out what their policy is and how they do things. So some of them require a deposit, some of them don't. So you want to know all of that stuff going into it. And then you're going to have the additional requirements of the loan on top of that. So they might require a deposit that could go towards your closing costs on your loan, but they want that up front before they're going to start ordering supplies and start building your home. Talk to them, ask them what their requirements are, if they require any deposits to get started on the home. And then you want to know if they're going to be the general contractor on it. So when we do these new construction loans, they have to be, or there has to be another general contractor. The buyer or the borrower cannot be the GC on it. It has to be somebody else, and it can't be a relative. They can't be related to them or connected to them anyway. It needs to be somebody outside of this transaction. So they can't be benefiting from this transaction. Right, so typically they are, the ones that I've worked with, they are the general contractor, and they'll have more experience and be able to do the other things that come along with your new build. So depending on where you're building this, you might need septic or a well. So they might have subcontractors that they know that can help out with that. If not, of course, you can shop around and find ones that you want. But typically, it's easier, especially if you're looking to keep this as simple as possible, if the manufactured home builder already has some subcontractors that they can get in touch with to get those other things. But they're going to be able to walk you through all of that stuff, especially if they're a bigger manufactured home builder. They're going to be very familiar with that process. So really, it's very simple. You just need to get pre-approved and then talk to that builder, that manufactured builder, and then go through their requirements, and then they'll be able to help with all that septic, water, city stuff, right? They're going to go do all of that stuff. So it's really not that hard. It's not, much more difficult than a traditional existing home, but typically, in most cases, there's just a little bit more money out of pocket up front. So that's really the big difference, but they're very easy to do, and they're great. And then you can just kind of get the home built that you like, the manufactured home that you want, and then we can tie in the land with that as well. So especially when we're doing our VA one-time close loans, we can get land at the same time and all tie it into one purchase. Now, if you already have land that you own, you can go ahead and build on that land that you already own. If not, you could get a separate land loan. There are different requirements for land loans. Typically, you're going to have to put 25% down, okay, and then you can finance the rest. But in a lot of cases, when we do them, we just buy the land at the same time. We wrap it up into one single loan, so the land and the home are all together. And then, that makes it much more simple. But, just kind of depends on the situation, and you can kind of mix and match and do different scenarios. If you have land that's being gifted to you, you can do that as well. So there's tons of different situations and ways that might shake out, but, it's easy to get done. So start there, get pre-approved, reach out to a builder, find a manufactured home builder, and just kind of walk through the process. It's not really that hard. So hopefully that helps kind of ease some of the stress and anxiety that you might have about that. If you've got more questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Again, my name is Drew Smith. If you want more information about loans and mortgages, please feel free to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.